Today's tutorial is going to be about how to open up a put credit spread. And if you remember, the put credit spread is a more capital efficient trade, typically having much higher yields than a cash covered put, but it comes with additional risk in that it is not nearly as easy to defend. So the first decision you have to make is whether this is going to be what we refer to as a cash covered spread or a speculative spread. And when we use the term cash covered spread, basically what we're talking about is you're opening a naked put or a cash covered put, but you're buying reinsurance just to conserve capital or to increase your yield. Where it, with a cash covered spread, your intention is if the stock were to drop, you would convert it into a cash covered put. The speculative spread, however, is what we're talking about today, and that is where you would never buy the stock. I'm not in a position to go out and pick up 100 shares of Amazon at $300 or $3,000 a share and park $300,000 on such a volatile stock. That's just not my style. So, being a speculative spread, instead of worrying about the 4% dividend level like we would with a cash covered put or cash covered spread, we're more interested in what support has been, what recent support has been. So, as my typical charting process goes, I'm going to take here and just kind of eyeball where I see support recently. And here we're going to take and look at resistance, which just kind of gives you the trading range. So this is saying that there's been some support in the 3,000 level. Unfortunately, if it drops below that, it's going to go down, probably down to the 2,000 level. But anyway, so now that we've determined that we're probably willing to look at the spread somewhere in the short position being somewhere in the $3,000 range. The other thing I look at is what is it priced at now? Well, it's priced at $31.49. Well, so let's say I want to be somewhere at least 10% out of the money. So if I was going to be at least 10% out of the money, all I do is take the 3150 and multiply it times 0.9. So I want to be somewhere under 28.35. So that being said, let's go ahead and move over to the trading platform now that we know that we want to be somewhere in the $2,800 to $3,000 range for our short side of the trade. Okay, here we are in our trading platform. And the first thing I want to do is I want to go up and put in the symbol for Amazon. And we're currently selecting May, but let's take a look at a June. And we had previously said that we're going to be somewhere in the $2,800 to $3,000 range for the short side of the trade. So as I scroll down, okay, there we are. Now the next thing I'm going to look at is the delta. Okay, so if you remember, the delta is the relationship, the percentage that the premium would move with the stock price, but it also is indicative of the success or failure of your trade. So this is basically saying that at a $3,000 strike price, you've got about a 30% chance of this trade not going the way you want it. If you go down to 2,800, that drops in half to less than 15%. So that's a pretty good deal. So let's see what our money would be. What's the income and the return? So you've got $2,800 strike price and a $2,780 strike price. So that would be a $20 spread. So if you did one contract, that's 100 shares at $20 or requires $2,000 in capital. So for the short side that you would be selling, you would get paid $28.55. Well, it's a moving target, but let's go with $28.55. And then the long side that you'd be buying is going to cost you $26.50. So subtract $26.50. That means your net proceeds are going to be $2.05 a share. Well, that means that you would get paid $205 for this trade, and your money at risk is $2,000. It's actually $1,800 because you're getting paid $200, but let's just stick with the $2,000. So $205 return on $2,000 is pretty quick. It's right around 10%. But once again, that is only for 37 days. So if you divide that by 37 times 365, that is a 101% return. And that's not a typo. That's actually the return on this trade, which is pretty typical for a short-term put credit spread. Now, chances are you're probably going to close this early, so you may not make the full $200, but it's indicative of a put credit spread trade. We're not shooting for home runs. This is we'd make $200 off of this trade, but we feel pretty good about it. And that's all there is to a put credit spread.